going on YouTube? Cal from Nowhere Drive 229 here. Some of y'all may have seen D drop his video about the running cost of his 2013 Audi S5 last night. If you haven't, you Audi guys should go check that out, or any of you guys should go check that out. He was really helpful on that end. I figured this morning I just got off work, I will drop a video for y'all about how to calculate the running cost of an E92 M3. So the first thing I'm gonna mention to y'all is gas, because you know that's the most common thing. That's what you spend money on the most often probably. So gas mileage in this car, I average around 12 to 15 miles per gallon. That's with me rev matching the car about 1,000,000 times a day. So I mean, I know I have a heavy foot, not gonna lie to you. So you could probably get a little bit better gas mileage than me. I just personally feel like if I bought the car, I'm gonna enjoy it. So the gas mileage is gonna be a little rough. But like I said, I average around 12, 13, 14, 15, somewhere in there. Every fill up on premium gas, of course, runs me about 31 bucks. It's usually like 31, 32 bucks, like on the head, to get the car filled up. I have a relatively long commute to work. It's about 29 to 35 miles, depending on which route I take. So I end up filling up 2 to 3 times a week between that and just me driving the car around when I get off work sometimes. So I end up filling up 2 to 3 times a week. So for me, it comes out to roughly at most 100 a week on gas. And I've actually gotten the car to last me an entire week on gas when I was just really being cautious with it. So you could say anywhere from 30 to 100. I know that's a big range, but it kind of depends on you really. I would just budget about, we'll say 50 bucks a week on gas. Next thing I want to mention, tires. So a lot of people on the forums like to try to decide between, should I get the Michelin Pilot Super Sport? Should I get the Bridgestone Potenza? Should I get the Continentals? You know, and that's all your personal preference. I personally chose to go with the Bridgestone Potenza SO4 pole position. The tire ranked right under the Michelin PSS, and I feel like if you're not tracking, what's the point? The tire does really well for me in rain, really well for me with aggressive driving. Like I haven't had a single complaint out of this tire, and it lasts much longer than that Pirelli P0 that comes on the E92 M3. That being said, the set of tires on this car, it's a 245 35 19 in the front, 265 35 19 in the back. My car is a competition package. That set ran me 1,200 mounted and balanced. I didn't think that was really that bad, considering that the Michelin Pilot Super Sport will cost you about 1,500 to 1,600. And in my opinion, if you're not tracking the car consistently, it's really not worth it. And I mean, I track my car occasionally, and I have not had a single complaint out of the Bridgestone Potenzas. I mean, literally, they are just as good as I could have imagined. If I really wanted a true dedicated tire, dedicated track tire, I probably wouldn't go with Michelin PSS anyway. I probably would go with a true track tire. While we're on the topic of performance and how much it costs to get that performance, we gotta talk about the brakes. So you go fast, you gotta stop. You don't have to stop, but it's usually recommended. So the brakes on this car, to get pads and rotors, BMW recommends you do pads and rotors at the same time. The cheapest I saw the set online was about 1,400 bucks. That included brake lines, brake sensors, all that stuff you need to change to just be done with it. Once it be just slap it on the car and be done with it, not think anything else of it. 1,400 bucks is about what I saw. If you can do the work yourself, great. If not, then of course you got to pay somebody to do that. On a side note, I would like to mention that if you're not tracking the car, if you're not driving it hard, and if you know how to monitor your rotors, pad slapping is not the worst thing in the world. Because, for example, I pad slapped my car the last time I did it just because my rotors were perfectly fine. They were brand new rotors. I didn't see any point in getting new rotors when my rotors were perfectly fine. And like I said, I don't track the car that often, so I don't really need it to be pristine in every sense of the word. I don't have any issue stopping in traffic or even with aggressive driving, you know, just in normal everyday conditions. So I pad slapped my car. I switched to Akibono pads, and it ran me about 300 bucks all the way around to get it done. 300 bucks compared to 1,400 bucks, you do the math. Next thing I want to mention, the oil changes. So everybody knows if you go to the dealership, they're going to tear you a new one trying to get an oil change or anything done on the car for that matter. M-Tax. Well, just BMW tax in general. Those guys are ridiculous. But anyway, oil changes at BMW are going to cost you about 330 bucks. Some people prefer to go with BMW just because if something goes wrong with the car, they can say, hey, you had your hands on it. It's on you. You fix it. That's understandable. Me personally, I take my car to a private mechanic up here. I have a couple different ones that I go to, but here's the reason why. So I wasn't going to pay $330 to BMW to do my oil changes. That just doesn't make sense to me. So I started looking online at how much the oil would cost me to buy the oil and to buy the oil filter to just do the change myself. And it was going to cost me about 120 bucks. I happened to just stop at a couple mechanics up here, and they only charge 135 bucks. So to me, 15 extra bucks, and I don't have to get under the car and do anything, worth it. Plus, I don't have to wait on shipping. I can just walk in, get my car done, and within an hour, I'm back on the road. So I do it like that. It cost me 135 bucks. The highest I've seen at an independent mechanic was 150 bucks. Like it was 160 something after tax or whatever. So I mean, really not a bad deal. Much cheaper than 330 at the dealership. As far as other running costs on the car go, of course, if things break, you have to fix them. I've mentioned before in previous reviews of the car, but the only thing I've had to go wrong with this car was throttle actuators. That was covered under BMW warranty, but if it was not under warranty, that was going to cost me about 1,800 bucks to get it fixed. And it's a relatively expected malfunction with these cars. I can't explain to you why. It's just somewhere around 60,000 miles is when a lot of people report throttle actuator failures. Car went into limp mode, took it to the dealership. You know, it doesn't show the code right away, so it has to happen a few times before BMW can read it. But like I said, about an $1,800 fix. Doesn't happen to everybody. I know people that have gone 190,000 miles without ever touching the throttle actuator. So, like I said, I wouldn't worry too much about that. I wouldn't worry too much about rod bearings. Some people go ahead and get their rod bearings changed when they go supercharged or just as a precautionary measure. I don't see the point. I'm not doing that. The rod bearing failure rate is way blown out of proportion. I would just leave it alone. Enjoy the car. Don't sit there worried about what's gonna break next. You know, just enjoy what you got. As far as insurance goes, I know a lot of people ask that because people want to know, you know, how much is the insurance gonna cost, because that's another bill essentially that's added to the car payment. Well, just to give you some context, I'm a 23-year-old male. I have one ticket on my record, and I think that the points may have been dropped from that. I don't know, but I don't have any accidents on my record, and you know, everything's pretty clear for the most part. And my insurance on this car is about $110 a month. I use State Farm. It was a little higher. It was about $140-ish with Allstate, but I switched to State Farm and it dropped, so here I am. Like I said, the insurance is not that bad. I think the highest quote I've seen on this car was through Progressive, actually. It was like 3 something, which was ridiculous. So, like I said, I'm with State Farm. My insurance is only about $110. I'm sorry. My insurance is only about $110. No complaints there on my end. What else do I want to say about this car as far as maintenance, running costs? That's about it. I haven't really had to fix anything on the car, you know, that you have to worry about. I blew one of my speakers, but that's not something everybody's gonna do. Which that speaker was 600 bucks, but once again, warranty. What else goes wrong on the e92 M3?
3 weeks later.
I can't think of nothing, guys. I mean, it's a pretty bulletproof car. I've mentioned before, my car is at 70,000 miles, and I drive it to death. Like, you know, it's my daily car at this point, and never, you know, like I mentioned, never a day goes by that I don't hit red line. I mean, 0 issues out of the car. Running costs are not bad. Like I said, the M-Tax does exist, so anytime you go buy something, be smart about it. Look for deals. But other than that, guys, it's really not bad to run. Of course, you know, when you go to shop for the car, make sure you look for your good interest rates. You know, if you have good credit, you get good interest rates. You save a lot of money there. Make sure you get a good deal on the car. Try to go certified if you can. I don't know if they're certifying these too much anymore with the M4s and, you know, these being kind of old. So, you know, just look for you a good example of one. Take care of it, and it'll take care of you. This has been Cal from Nowhere Drive 229. I'm out.
This love is for us. It's for